And this is what we're going to follow throughout this tutorial. And so first it says, and here the video link will be there later. And first it says make sure you have a JDK installed for your system. So I'm running Windows and it's a 64-bit machine. This is how you tell. Right click computer, properties, 64-bit operating system. So we go to this link and down here we accept the license agreement and Windows 64-bit. If it's Windows 32-bit, this is what you download. 64-bit, this is the one that I'm downloading. And I'll just cancel it because I already downloaded it before. And after downloading it, you run it. And once you run it, if you already have it installed, this is what you see. So you can say no. But if you don't have it installed, follow the instructions and install the whole thing. And if you have Linux, use your package manager to install JDK 6. And in Mac, you probably already have it installed, and you can check it out over there. And the next step is to create a SE330 folder, 320 folder somewhere in your system. I'll do C SE320. And I suggest you do the same to follow the tutorial easily. So in my C, I'm creating a new folder, SE320. Okay. You can also do it in your Dropbox folder, but you can have issues with different OSs and different bits. So beware. So create these folders, libs, IDE, and workspace in that folder we just created. So let's do that. New folder, libs, new folder, IDE, new folder, workspace. And then we need to download Eclipse IDE for Java developers from this link here, eclipse.org, and save it in our CSE320 IDE folder. And since I'm running Windows, it gave me the Windows links for Eclipse IDE for Java developers. If you have Linux or Mac, it's going to give you the correct links. I'll just download the 64-bit version from the Turkish mirror. Since it's large, I'm not going to download it now, since I already downloaded it before. I will just copy from where I downloaded it and paste it over here, IDE. But this is where you would download it if you were to download the whole thing, which you will. So now let's see what's the next step. So yeah, always download it from there. If you're using Linux, do not install it through your package manager because it doesn't always create good installs. And extract it over there. Let's do that. I will use 7-zip to extract here. It takes a little bit. And once it's done, we're going to have Eclipse folder and Eclipse exe in it, which is what we wanted to see. And then, yeah, we go right here. We're at number 4. Download Slick from this link and save it in your CSE320 libs folder. And it says download the nightly build, not the default one in the Slick website, because the nightly build has more sample code and some extras like isometric maps with tile editor. So let's go there. And this is the nightly builds link in the Slick website. And I'll just click the Slick nightly build, or I'll actually cancel that. Do right click, save link as to my CSE320 libs folder where I'm supposed to save it to, because that's what our tutorial says. And we can actually close this now. So it's downloading, and then we're going to extract it inside a folder called Slick. Alright, so it just finished downloading. I'm going to go SE320 libs slick.zip. I'm going to use 7-zip to extract it inside a folder called Slick. And here we go. Okay, so in Slick we should have these. So the next step is to download LWJGL and its Java docs from here and save them in our C SE320 libs folder. So let's go there. And we're gonna download the latest stable release. That's what it says, latest stable build. Download the ones that say LWJGL and LWJGL docs. So let's go there. It will take us to SourceForge. LWJGL and LWJGL docs are what we're downloading. So it's downloading them to my downloads folder, and I'll move them to my SE320 libs folder. Okay, I cut them from there and I'm pasting them here. Okay. Close these. And it says extract only LWJGL. Do not extract the docs one. Alright. So only extract this one. 7-zip, extract here. And in it we have, these folders, which is good. Okay, so next step is we're gonna run Eclipse. Okay, now we're gonna run Eclipse. For that, we're gonna go into the SE320 IDE Eclipse and double click the Eclipse executable there. So we're gonna do that. SE320 IDE Eclipse executable. Okay, and when it runs, when it asks you for workspace location, select SE320 workspace. This is where our source code will go in. And let's do that now. SE320 workspace. That's where our project and source code will be. So the first time we run it, click on the curved arrow that says workbench, which is on the left here. You wouldn't have to scroll because your screen size would be larger. So this is Eclipse. And then now we're gonna add the Slick and LWJGL libraries to Eclipse. And you would need to do this only once for your workspace. And how we're gonna do it is click on the Window Preferences menu and open the Preferences dialog. Window Preferences, we open that dialog. Select Java, Build Path, User Libraries from the tree on the left. Java, Build Path, User Libraries. And then create a new user library called Slick by doing click New, type Slick, and click OK. So let's do that. New Slick. Do not set system library. So OK. So we see Slick here now. And then add the following jars in here. These jars. And in here, this jar. So this LWJGL jar also exists in here, but we're not going to use that one. We're going to use it from the LWJGL folder. Okay, so how are we going to do that? When the Slick entry is selected in User Libraries dialog, click Add Jars. So it is selected. Just click one more to make sure. Add Jars. And then select the jars you want to add and click Open. So we're going to go to Slick lid and select those jars. Let's go to SE320 libs Slick lib IBXM Jorbis and Slick jars. Okay, as you can see, we added them under Slick. And then we're gonna go to here and add a WJGL jar. Let us do that. As you can see, a jar is not available now. We're gonna have to select Slick again and say Add Jars, libs, LWJGL jar, LWJGL jar. Okay, so we added the necessary jars. What do we do next? Repeat this for all the jars. We did that. We didn't use it from here, but we used it from there. Good. Do not close the preferences dialog yet. We will do some adjustments on the libraries in the next step. Okay. So we need to add the source attachment to SlickJar so that when we look at the source code inside the library, we can see it, and we can also have the Java docs working with it. So under the SlickJar in the list, double-click source attachment, none. Let's do that. So where SlickJar is down here, we're going to double-click the source attachment. Okay, we did that. And it says click external folder and select CSE320 libslick source. Okay, let's do that too. External folder, CSE320 libslick src. Okay, as you can see, it came here. Say OK. Okay, and then what else are we gonna do? So this way we can see all the Slick source code and its Java docs while coding. We'll see that later. So add the Java docs and the native libraries to LWJGL-jar. So under LWJGL-jar in the list, double-click Java doc location none. Let's do that. LWJGL-jar, Java doc location, double-click. Then select Java doc in archive and external file. Let's do those. Java doc in archive. An external file is selected. And click browse next to archive path. So archive path, browse, okay, and what are we gonna select here? Select, oh, this is the wrong folder, libs lwjgl docs 281 zip. So we're gonna select that zip now. Oops, it was here. And libs, the docs zip that we didn't extract. SE320 libs lwjgl docs. So open, and we say click OK. Alright, so now we have Java docs. Then under LWJGL-jar in the list, double click native library location. Native library location, okay. And then we're going to say external folder, and then select the LWJGL native Windows, since you're in Windows. If you're in Linux or Mac OS X, you select the appropriate directory. So external folder, Windows. Let's do that. External folder, computer C320 libs, oops, LWJGL native. So as you can see, there's Linux, Mac OS X, Solaris, Windows. We're gonna select Windows. Say OK, and then OK again. So now you see we have Java location and native library location set for this one, and we got source attachment set for this one, and that's all. And yeah, we did that. So we verified these, and we say OK to close the preferences dialog. Okay. So we need to do this only just once for our workspace. And we don't have to do it again. This is 789, which was add the libraries and add the source and Java docs and the native libraries, native files. So from now on, we don't have to do it. This will make our job easier when we want to add Slick to our projects. Okay, next step. So now we will create a sample Slick application to make sure everything is working. So let's see how we're going to create our application. In Eclipse, click File, New Java Project. Let's do that. File, New Java Project. Okay. And type Hello Slick and press Enter, it says. Let's do that. Okay, so as you can see, a Hello Slick project got created. And we saw it on under Package Explorer, which is here, Package Explorer. And yeah, this is what it has. So add the Slick library to this project as follows. Right-click the Hello Slick project and select Build Path, Add Libraries. Let's do that. Right-click. If it's expanded like this, you don't right-click anywhere else, but right-click Hello Slick. And you say Build Path, Add Libraries, and select User Library and click Next. Let's do that. User Library, click Next, and then check the box next to Slick and click Finish. So let's do that too. Slick, finish. So as you can see, Slick came here as a library, and it has the jars that we added to it. And then we need to create a new class, Java class, as follows. Expand the Hello Slick project and right-click the SRC folder, select new class. Let's do that. So we already expanded it. Right-click the SRC folder, select new class. Okay. This is type simple test and press enter. And we will see the empty source code of the class after that. So, simple test, enter, and yeah, this is simpletest.java. This is the class, and we see the source code. Good. So go to this website, select the sample code towards the middle of the document, and copy it. So let's go to that website. This is another tutorial. So we're just going to select the whole source code, and then copy it. Okay. And so delete everything in your simpletest Java file in Eclipse and paste that source code. Okay, so let's delete everything and then paste that source code. Okay, and as you can see, there's an error here. When I hover over, the declared package does not match your expected package. Remove the package declaration. So I'm getting Eclipse to help me, and I'm saving it now. Save, so I can get rid of the star. Okay, we did that, corrected the errors, and then we're going to run this class. And how are we going to do that is right-click simpletest Java in Package Explorer, select Run as Java Application. Let's do that. Simpletest, right-click, Run as Java Application. When I do that, I see a frame per second counter and Hello Slick World. So this means that Slick is working for us. If this window hadn't opened, it would mean that there's an issue. Maybe I added the wrong jars or whatever, I forgot a step. So if you don't see this, then go back and try to fix whatever you did wrong. And yeah, we saw the window with Hello Slick World and FPS counter. So if you got an error instead, read the console pane of Eclipse, right here, console. So you would see a bunch of red errors if it wasn't working. And try to make sense of those errors. If you can't, if you can't resolve it yourself, paste it in an email, those errors, paste them to an email and send them to me. Okay. So the next step is to make your Eclipse environment a little more user-friendly. That's how I prefer to use Eclipse. So close the task list and outline panes on the right-hand side to give more space for the source editor. As you can see, my source editor is pretty small because I, low resolution here. But even if you have a high resolution, you want to see your whole source code. You want to use most of the Windows space for your source code. So task list, I'm going to close. I don't use outline. I'm going to close as well because what I use is navigate. I have to select the source code first. Navigate. Show in breadcrumb. So this is more useful. I can say, click and see the functions that it has, and I can go to package, any level, even project. I can select. Okay. I think I forgot to add that here, which I will. So on top of the Package Explorer pane on the left, turn on the yellow two-way arrow that says Link with Editor. This will let us see where in the project our source code is. So this is what I'm talking about, Link with Editor. It needs to be pressed in like that. And if it is, then it follows where, as you can see, simpletest is selected here. So if I was to go to some other source code, for example, Slick has some. If I move back to this, it goes automatically to simpletest. If I move to this, then this one gets selected automatically. Okay, so it follows where the source code is. Good. The next thing it says, to the right of that button, click on the little downward pointing arrow to open a menu and select Package Presentation Hierarchical. So let's see what it is. So this was the button. On the right there's this arrow, and then Package Presentation Hierarchical. So as you can see, it changed how these are presented. this is a much better, easier to read way of looking at packages. It'll make your job easier. And then, yeah, I was supposed to add the showing breadcrumb thing, but I already just showed you. In case you missed it, it's navigate, showing breadcrumb. So this is the breadcrumb. This tells me which package I'm at. You know, if I go to something else, some source code. So see, it says I'm in this jar, this package, and this class or interface. And I can go to other classes, and in that I can go to different functions. So this is a really useful way to browse your code base, and also the package manager here, package explorer here. Okay, so this is all we had in here. So it says go to this other tutorial to run the test programs that come with Slick. So we're going to do that as well. Okay, so we're going to go to that tutorial now. So this is another tutorial that I wrote before. So it says go into the Slick source distribution that you downloaded and extracted. So that would be SE320 libs Slick. This is our source Slick distribution. So make a copy of the source src folder and name it test src. So we're going to do that. So we're doing these so that we can run the tests and we can edit the tests ourselves. So we're going to go Slick src. Just going to do copy. I'm going to do paste. Now I have src copy. I'm going to do test src. Okay. So dig into the test src folder until you see many folders including tests, and delete everything except for test folder. So let's do that. Test src, I'm digging into it, and I see many folders. I've got tests. I'm going to select everything, deselect tests, and then I'll do shift delete. I just deleted everything except tests. So in the tests there are the bunch of test programs that come with Slick. Okay, so create a Java project in Eclipse. Add the Slick libraries as explained there. We're not going to add them individually because we added them as a library, user library. So yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to create a Java project in Eclipse. I'm going to call it Slick tests. I'm going to file new Java project. Slick tests, enter. Okay, now just like I did with Hello Slick, I'm just gonna right click, say build path, add libraries, user library, next, Slick, finish. So as you can see, Slick just came here. Otherwise I would have to add these jars by hand. So for all my new projects I can just do this, right click, build path, add libraries, and add Slick from there, and I'll be set. So drag and drop this test src folder to the Eclipse window on your project in Package Explorer. Select copy. So let's do that. So I got my Eclipse here, got my Slick here, and I'll go up to lib Slick. So I got my test src folder here, and it says drag it where? Drag it into the Eclipse window on your project in Package Explorer, select copy. So let me do that now. So I'm dragging it right into my project. And I select copy, I say okay. So as you can see, test src got copied here into my project in my workspace. And what's next? Right click to the test src in Package Explorer, select build path and use as source folder. Okay, so let's, if I can go back to Eclipse, yep. So as you can see, my src folder has a little package in it. My test src doesn't. So Eclipse doesn't know that this is a source folder. So I'm going to do that. Build path, use as source folder. Now it has a package image next to it as well, and some build warnings which we don't care about now. So these are all the test classes that it came with. Okay, so let's see what's next. Drag and drop the test data folder to the Eclipse window on your project Package Explorer, select copy. So pretty much the same thing with test data. Okay. Copy into Slick test. Copy. Okay. Okay, it came here. This is not a source folder. This has a bunch of images and stuff so that our tests can find them. So I'm not going to make it a source folder. So now if you expand test src in Eclipse until you see the test files such as animation test Java and stuff, and right click to any of them and say run as Java application, you should see the test file run. Okay, let's do that. So expand, and I see the tests here. And if I right click any of them, they should run. So there's animation test, that was kind of interesting. Right click, run as Java application. So as you can see, we got Homer Simpson walking. And this one. If I press 1, then this one walks. If I don't, space restarts it. Yeah. So there we go. There are many tests here. Yeah, so let's look at the tests a little more. There was one test that I couldn't show in the class because I was using the nightly build. Is it like OpenGL or something? Test, could it be this one? Probably not, but let's, we can go ahead and run these and see what they do. This is a menu system. Then we have a bunch of others. It doesn't seem like I can find it, but one of these was using OpenGL to draw stuff, raw OpenGL if you wanted to. But you can look at them and find them. And you can actually edit this source. So you can double click, we got animation test.java. For example, we have ping pong. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click, open call hierarchy, or I could do Control-Alt-H. So yeah, these are the places that ping pong is being used. And in render, it says drawString, and then it's also being used here. This draw function, as you can see, since I added the source of Slick, I can see what these are doing. It is coming from the source code, these documentations. Width and height, so I'm gonna make it larger as I did in class before. So for example, 6. I'm gonna make it really fat, I believe. Yeah, that's the width, yeah. So let's save it and right click animation test, run as Java application. And my Homer Simpson is really fat now over here. So yeah, so you can go ahead and look at all the test files here and see what they do. And whenever you need something, whenever you need to do something, you can come here and, if you remember how, for example, we opened the menus test, you can open the menu test and see how menus are implemented and things like that. Sleep callable test. Let's see what this one is. Oh yeah, this is the one that draws OpenGL, custom OpenGL code. So this gear here is being drawn using OpenGL, whereas everything else is being drawn using Slick calls, which call OpenGL, but you're not seeing the OpenGL code. So let's see how it is. Slick callable test. Double click. I'm gonna double click the source code to see it bigger. And init render. Yeah. So yeah, it's called the renderGL function. Callable, so you can use this kind of pattern to run it. And renderGL in our Slick callable test, it's raw GL calls, GL load identity, and GL material. Doesn't use GL begin and GL end. It seems it's using a pause. Yeah, it's using it here as the light source. And the rendering. Mode, frustrating mode. It seems like it's not doing the rendering here. Yeah, gear code, yeah. So gear, it's drawing a gear here. Yeah, GL vertex, GL begin, GL end, right? So yeah, this is how you can add OpenGL, raw OpenGL code in your application. Okay. Yeah, so this is it for now, I think. Yeah, so there are some more examples that are in jar files. Let's see them as well. So what it says is add lib slick examples jar and add lib slick util jar from the slick distribution to your project, just like you added the other jars. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do right click, build path, add libraries, no. Add external archives, yeah. So, and add libs slick examples, lib slick util. So that's the slick source code. Libs slick, lib slick examples, and yeah, slick util is not here because this is the nightly build, but slick examples will do. You have to download the slick util separately. Let's see, yeah, so this one has some source code. You can run them, but since they're in jars, you cannot edit them. If you have to copy them to another source code. So here we have lights, for example. I don't think we can run the light one because it doesn't have a main function, but light test run as Java application. So as you can see, this is light OpenGL lighting. Slick uses it. So if you want to do like fog of war, for example, you can easily do it. I think if I press L, I toggle it. And yeah, C changes the color. So it's pretty cool effects. Okay, so scroller class. Let's see if it runs. Yeah, it does. So yeah, this is a tank game. I'm controlling it with the arrows, so it's scrolling. So you can learn how to scroll your world using this one. Okay. And yeah, so there was one in the slick tests. There was a isotile test. This is not in the regular distribution, but only the nightly distribution. So if you want to create an isometric map, then you can look at this. So isometric is like turned 45 degrees, not looking at straight. Okay. Yeah, so whenever you want to do something, so you can read the code, debug, edit, and play with them. Whenever you want to do something, you can come back here and try to find a sample usage of what you want. So let's go ahead and download that slick util jar as well and see what it has. So it was in where we download slick. Yeah. So you can see slick util nightly build. So I'm just gonna right click, save link as. Yeah, libs slick util, save. I'm gonna open slick SE320 libs slick util. I'm gonna see. Yeah, I'm gonna extract it into a slick util folder. Slick util. And here we have a bunch of jars and slick util jar. So let's take a look at that then. I'm gonna add it to my project. Slick tests, build path, add external archives, lib slick util, lib slick util jar. I'm also gonna add its source code because I don't think I can see their source code right now. Yeah, I can't. Slick util jar, right click properties, Java source attachment, external file, slick util src. Okay, so now I can see its source code. Good. Okay, so let us try to see what's in there. Yeah, so there are some tests here as well. Yeah, just one test utils class. There are a bunch of utilities in this slick util you might find useful. You may find them useful in your game. For example, font, color. I didn't look at them all, but OpenGL, there are some things that your code might use. And it is testing all of them in here. So you can look at the source code to see how it's using them. But let's just run it and see what it does. Java application. Yeah, it's playing music. It says hello JGL world. I'm sure it's doing a lot of interesting things, but we can't tell. Let's look at the source code. Test utils. Render has, yeah, a bunch of OpenGL code, color, texture. It seems like instead of setting the color by hand, you can use like the color class. You can create new colors or use existing colors like this. And texture, I think it created this texture right here. I'll just control click and then do call hierarchy init, yeah. So texture class I think comes from the, yeah, Sleek OpenGL, let's see. It is in Slickjar actually. Okay. So we can play with these. This is another example source code. I just wanted to show that it exists. Yeah, and as I said here,